I know you gonna dig this.
Get funky with me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Decatur, Georgia, a little suburb outside of Atlanta. That was making some noise a second ago, it's not now. Yeah, I'm walking around a certain area, very, very cool, interesting area. Let me show you. So, these are ashes all in this area. Interred in this garden are the ashes of these departed. Now, let me see here. Wow. Some theater on it. Wow. People come out here and I'm looking for this plaque. I think this is the plaque I'm looking for. Straight ahead, making a lot of noise while I walk. Should be from Emory University, this plaque. Emory University, Morehouse School of Medicine, Medical College of Georgia, Mercer University School of Medicine. In memory of those who generously gave their bodies to help future generations through medical research and education. So this cemetery is huge. Like, I'm talking huge. Right. Like, you can see a bunch of buildings over there. All that. And then this cemetery is right kind of in the middle of Decatur, right near the university and right near, like, tons of restaurants and cafes. And then here, this big cemetery, and then this little area. And in this little area is a very famous actress who has an interesting, fascinating life story. Name Thelma McQueen, later became known as Butterfly McQueen. That was her legal name. Inspired by the way she danced. Most famous probably for her role in Gone with the Wind. And I want to tell her story because it's very fascinating. I believe she's right over here. Let me count. Yeah, right over here. So let me tell you about Thelma McQueen. She was born in Tampa, Florida. What is that noise that's right over here? Oh my lord. No, it's birds or something. See? Oh, it's a squirrel. Okay. Chipmunk. So Thelma McQueen, she was born in Tampa. She lived in several cities here on the East Coast before settling in Augusta, which is part of the story I'm going to hopefully figure out. It's a bit of a mystery. Butterfly McQueen enrolled in the Lincoln Training School for Nursing before she started having the desire to become an actress. She was in a theater group in Harlem, and they performed Midsummer Night's Dream, and in it is the Butterfly Ballet, and she adopted Butterfly as her stage name. I believe her name is not listed here on any of these. We can go through it, but I don't think we're going to find her name. She received her big break when she was 28 years old. She was cast as Prissy in Gone with the Wind. Brought her national fame. It's probably her most known performance. And her famous line, Miss Scarlett, I don't know nothing about birthing no babies.
I'll help you.
Oh, Lossie, Miss Scarlett.
What is it?
Lossie, we've got to have a doctor. I don't know nothing about birthing babies.
So she should be right in this section, I believe. 1, 2, 1, 2. Right about here. I think in this one here. Now the thing about her grave is it's not really known exactly where she is because there are so many unidentified people. Well, they're not unidentified so much as the university knows, but they just kind of have little boxes set aside that go into the ground, and there's a kind of a deal of anonymity, I believe. I'm looking, but the gentleman at the front told me that no, she doesn't have a name plate. He believes she doesn't, and from all my research, I don't think she does. Not even listed here. I'm looking. All these people donated their body to science. She was in movies called The Women, Cabin in the Sky, Mildred Pierce, Killer Diller. She was on the Jack Benny Show and radio. I've read two reasons. I've read that she wanted to leave acting due to racial stereotyping. And also I read that she was unable to support herself as an actress. So there's two. I've read two conflicting stories regarding why she left acting. But after being an actress, she worked in a wide range of occupations. She was a restaurant owner, a waitress, a tour guide. She worked at Macy's in the toy department. In the 1960s, she temporarily moved back to Augusta. Then she moved back to Harlem, which was a receptionist and a dance teacher. In the 70s, she enrolled in City College of New York. She earned a degree in political science. Sporadically, she would appear on screen and stage. She was in The Mosquito Coast. Remember that? River Phoenix, Harrison Ford. She won a Golden Globe, an Emmy Award for her participation in 7 Wishes of Joanna Peabody. That was 1978. She did participate in the 50th anniversary celebration for Gone with the Wind in 1989. And here's where it gets sad. What happened to her? Now, she had a very tragic, awful death. And that was at her home in Augusta, Georgia. Apparently she had a home in New York and Augusta. It was December 22nd, 1985. That's when she died at a regional burn center in Augusta. She was 84 years old. Now, I know the address of this street. I know the street. And I think I know the address because I have a copy of her. I don't have a copy. It was online of her handwritten will with her address. And all the articles from back in the day say she died on her home on Dent Street. And she signs the will with her address, Dent Street, with a number. So I'm going to figure out if that's the house. Now, there was a house fire, and she had 2nd and 3rd degree burns over 70% of her body. There was a group of Boy Scouts around that day that it happened, and they were working with the food bank to deliver food right before Christmas, and they saw the house on fire. A little cottage. Apparently it's behind a bigger house, and she owned both, but she liked staying in the smaller cottage. They saw her in the carport. She was crying out for help. So the leader, assistant leader of the Boy Scouts, told her to lay on a rug And then they all took sides of the rug. We pulled her on the rug out of the flames because the flames were starting to engulf the carport as well. The fire department arrived shortly afterward. Here's what I'm going to quote. I asked Mr. Wilby if it was okay for me to hold her hand, and he said no because we didn't know what kind of burns she had. She was very burned, but she was saying thank you the whole time. That's all she said. She might have said it close to 50 times. I was there basically telling her, Jesus loves you. And I kept saying that. We didn't know who she was. We had no idea this was somebody of notoriety. I'm going to go to Augusta, and I'm going to try to find the home, because apparently it still stands, the home where she passed. Let's do that now.
Your destination is on the left. Your destination is on the left.
So I made it to Augusta. I'm on Dent Street. And Butterfly McQueen had a will, a handwritten will that I spoke about, I think. And she left some property. It seems that she owned a lot of property. And she left a house on Kent Street to somebody named Ike Washington. And I've read so many different things about the house, where it was. Said that there was a main house and a cottage back behind it. I read in one article. Another one I read that it was a small little cottage, little like type of house by itself. So I've read of this behind a bigger house. I've read this just by itself on the street. In an article about her when she passed away, about the fire, it said at her house on Dent Street. And then in her will, she signed her name and wrote her address and put Dent Street with the number. This is the house. And so it was 95 when she passed away, when the fire happened. I think this house has been rebuilt. I don't think it burned to the ground. I think it's very similar, and I think it's just been redone. That's my theory. There's absolutely really no way of me finding that's out more than the research I've done. Maybe somebody in the area knows, but I'm pretty sure this house is the house where she passed away. I'm actually not pretty sure. I know that this is the property. I just don't know if this house is the right one. But here's where she tragically passed away. And thank you to the gentleman who's doing some work on the house who said, yeah, come on over, take some pictures, video, whatever you like, right here. There it is. So this is the property. This is, in her will, she left this address. She was living at this address, and in the article about her, it said, a fire on Dent Street. So the address and the article match up to here. And if you look at pictures of the house on fire, it's kind of similar. There is no more carport, but this easily could have been a carport right here. This is an addition. That's a small little cottage. That's a carport. And that was just added on. You can see the difference. The roof right there, that looks like a carport. That's where the fire was there. And I mean, all of the new outside. And I read that the fire did not completely destroy the home. So yeah, right here. And now back to the rest of the video over in Decatur. So I'm doing a voiceover now from Toronto. Turns back when I got back home and started to edit this video, I did further digging. There was a cottage located behind this house. So that is her house. She owned it, but the cottage behind it, which is no longer there, is where she passed away. Yeah, that was 1995. So I'm just looking at the names, just in case the gentleman made a mistake, but all these represent where ashes are interred of bodies donated to science. So she could be any one of these in here, but it's in this section. This lot, I should say, section 17. It says 16 on that side, but 17 on the other. I do not see Butterfly McQueen listed here at all. Let's check on this one just in case, but the gentleman at the front said they're thinking about getting something for her, but it's really up to the university, and sometimes, like I said, it's due to anonymity. Some people don't want, once they want to donate their body to science, they don't want any sort of marker left behind. So that could have been her last wishes. This one just says Sarah, 18 years old. God. No. JRN. That's it. And that's my story about the incredible Butterfly McQueen, and what a life she led. What a tragic ending. It's a beautiful spot on a little hill overlooking the rest of the cemetery. Like I said, if you want to come here, probably go to the front desk and ask, but there's the office right there in the background. Look for these two poles here, and then walk into the garden here for all these people who donated their bodies to science, and Butterfly McQueen was one of them. I love that. Okay. Rest in peace to everyone here in the garden. Incredible thing that they did. And especially to Butterfly McQueen. Rest in peace. Beautiful lady. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out.